if you could open up VS Code now or Visual Studio Code, or pause this video now and install it if you are comfortable using the IDE VS Code. So now I'm going to click on the left bar here. I'm going to go to extensions, which has got these 4 blocks here. I'm going to search for SSH or remote SSH. Click on the bar here and make sure that it's installed. So I'll quickly uninstall on my machine and reinstall to show you. That installation is now complete, and you can see this reflected by the uninstall icon here. So we now have the extension remote SSH installed. You should see this now a icon here in the bottom left with the 2 arrows pointing towards each other. We'll click on that, and we'll want to go to this menu here and click on Open SSH Configuration File. And I will click on the recommended path to file config generated here. And I'm going to get a set of 3 parameters: host, host name, and user. I'm going to call this Topaz remote for my remote connection to Topaz. The host name is going to be topaz.pawsey.org.au, similar to what we've been doing with the SSH in the terminal window. And the username is going to be what precedes the @ when we use our SSH login. So for me, that's going to be jmakins1. So when I SSH through the terminal window, it's SSH my user at topaz.pawsey.org.au. And that's going to be the basis of our config file here. And that's all we need to get us going. So make sure that's saved. I've got auto save selected, but make sure that's saved for you. We can now then click back down into this open remote window icon, and we are going to connect to a host. We should see our alias that we've just created in config, Topaz remote, or the name that you specified in your config file. Click on that, and you will see the remote connection establishing. And you should see a pop-up towards the top of the GUI here saying, please enter password. We'll do that and press enter. You should see the setting up of the SSH connection occurring and completing in the background. And I'm not going to worry about the pop-ups for now. Come back to those later. You might get different ones yourself. I'm going to open up a terminal within the pop-up window. And you should see that you are in fact connected to your user or Pawsey account for Topaz. I'm going to check directory I'm in. I'm going to go into my group, cd my group, pwd, get the path from my group here. I'm going to create a test file. I'm going to click on new file here. I'm going to create a test Python file, save this to the group path in my group. So I'll copy and paste into the save as section here. And then I'm going to give this file the name test.py or .py. Click OK. And we're going to do a simple yes SSH is working from VS Code. Make sure that file's saved. I've got auto saved on, so mine's constantly saving as I code from within VS Code. onto the Pawsey system. And if I do listing or ls, I should see test.py set up on Topaz. And now I can test to make sure that the connection is established, and I can run code on Topaz, such as a Python script, or from within the VS Code GUI. And I can see my output here from the script, the .py script is in fact working. I can confirm this in my terminal window outside of VS Code. So I'm going to my alias cd into my group. And then I'm going to run the test from within the terminal window. And I can confirm that the script I created in VS Code on my in the GUI that I opened up, I initially opened up VS Code on my local machine, and I can run code through a Pawsey system such as Topaz remotely through SSH. So that concludes the tutorial. If you have any questions, as always, please don't hesitate to contact me. And that concludes.